The recipe that I originally used was from my grandmother's cookbook. See how it is? It's coating the spoon. Very carefully and very straight, I cover the cake. In my family, in the Bavarian side of my family, Sacher Torte meant birthdays. And I always wondered why we made this particular torte. Then recently I discovered that Franz Sacher was Jewish. He started out as an apprentice for the chef to Prince Wenzel von Metternich, who was at that time the foreign minister of the Austrian Empire and the father of modern diplomacy. The prince was going to have a very important dinner and he needed a cake. The chef was sick. So it fell upon the 16-year-old apprentice, Franz Sacher, to come up with a cake. And he created this chocolate torte with an apricot jam on top and then a chocolate glaze. It was very well received at the dinner. And this is my version of the Sacher Torte, which actually is very easy to make. I use potato starch instead of flour because it makes it sort of almost silken. Also, it's gluten-free, and I can use it for Passover. The recipe that I originally used was from my grandmother's cookbook. This was the book that she wrote for her daughter. And it has in this beautiful florid handwriting the Sacher Torte recipe, which of course you can see there are blotches around there. It was definitely well used. So now we're going to melt the chocolate, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of getting good quality chocolate. Don't use cheap brands. The flavor is so important, and I also feel that you should get either 60 or 70% chocolate. I don't care what Franz Sacher did, this is what I do. If you don't have a double boiler, you can use the microwave. Keep it low. You don't want it to be too high because you don't want to burn the chocolate. About 2 tablespoons of brandy or rum or whatever you want in. You could even use water if you don't have anything. You have to keep stirring the chocolate to get it to melt. And you have to always know that you put vanilla after you take it off the heat. You never put vanilla in while you're cooking something. Okay, now we're going to start the cake. A half a cup of butter or coconut oil, or if you want, parve margarine. You put it in here and you cream it with a half a cup of sugar. It's really important to separate them one by one so there's no blood in them. And you put them in, and then I add my melted chocolate. Okay, it's really important, by the way, to sift with a little salt. Then I put this in. Of course, you could do this with a hand mixer too, but I'm switching out the bowl now. I'm going to whip the eggs. And one of the ways you can tell if they're ready, if they can be held like this, up, they're ready. Well, it's almost ready. We're going to do it anyway. You want to stir the egg whites into your cake. And then what we're going to do is pour it in. I greased it and lined it with parchment paper so that it wouldn't stick. I'm going to bake it at 275 for 45 minutes. This is one of the keys to the Sacher Torte, to have a nice smooth glaze. And actually it's great fun to make it and to spread it on the cake. So again, high quality chocolate, very important. A half a cup of sugar and a half a cup of water. This is too thin. This is too thin. But I also am doing this slowly. I think that's just about, see how it is? It's coating the spoon. Now we're going to make the apricot jam. Now what I do, you can buy your jam if you want to, but I prefer the intense flavor of apricot jam made from fruit leathers. 2 cups of apricots, grated rind of a lemon. That just gives it a nice tang. A cup of sugar and 1.5 cups of water. But you've got to keep watching it and stirring it for about a half an hour. Now it's ready, perfect. So now let's put it on the cake. Okay, let's take it out of the oven. Looks great. Take a plate. This is called the lazy person's Sacher Torte. I'm going to flip it onto the plate that I'm going to present it on and take this off. I spoon on my delicious apricot jam. I'm spooning on my glaze. Now you'll notice I'm putting it on the center of the cake. Very carefully and very straight, I cover the cake. So I carefully take it away. See how messy this would be? I decorate it as I want, with strawberries or raspberries. You can't serve a Sacher Torte without schlag, whipped cream, a dollop of whipped cream. This is absolutely delicious with the schlag, of course, the whipped cream, the silky chocolate, the apricot jam, and the chocolate glaze. Guten Essen.